Let's now turn our attention to a controversial development as the former mayor of Blanco, Texas, Mike Arnold, has accused former presidential aide RENO OMOKRI of being a pathological, habitual, calculating, self-serving liar, alleging that he was...
Hello and what's up, guys? In this video, we have a shocking twist involving RENO OMOKRI, the former presidential aide, now being accused by an American official of deception, manipulation, and flat-out lies. It all started when Mike Arnold, a former mayor from Blanco, Texas, dropped a bombshell on X, now Twitter. He said RENO OMOKRI lied to him, used him, and even misrepresented his identity during several trips to Kenya, Texas, and Nigeria. Arnold claims RENO promised him high-level meetings with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu, and the Sultan of Sokoto, but none of those meetings ever happened. He also said RENO falsely introduced him on live television as the current mayor of Blanco, Texas, and a close friend of Ted Cruz. Arnold says that is a complete lie and he is tired of being used as a political prop. But that's not all. Arnold accused RENO of something even more serious, downplaying the killings of Christians in Nigeria. According to Arnold, the same RENO who once spoke loudly about Christian genocide in Nigeria has suddenly gone quiet, now insisting there is no such thing happening. Arnold's words were harsh. He said RENO's hypocrisy has gone beyond reason, especially when lives are at stake. The accusation exploded online and quickly made it to Arise News, where Rufai Oseni, Ojiokpe, and others discussed the matter live on air. Rufai said the situation is not just embarrassing, it is dangerous. He questioned why RENO will invite someone for a fact-finding mission only to disagree with the same person's findings. According to Rufai, if Arnold came, did his research, and concluded that Christians are facing a calculated genocide, then RENO should not try to rewrite that report. Rufai warned, we must never play politics with human blood. The killings, whether Christians or Muslim, are real and Nigerians are dying. On social media, Nigerians didn't hold back. One viral tweet read, RENO OMOKRI is a two-faced man. 1 minute he is preaching morals, the next he is defending the indefensible. Another said, you only turn on RENO because he denied the genocide. That's the problem with over-religious folks. The reactions were wild and the damage to RENO's credibility was massive. Analysts on Arise News said that if these lies are true, RENO's reputation as a truth teller is over. They warn that when your credibility collapses this publicly, no one takes your word seriously anymore. Now, here is where it gets even more serious. Mike Arnold says he has evidence, photos, documents, and first-hand reports from his time in Nigeria proving that Christians' community are being specifically targeted. He described it as a calculated genocide and insists he is standing by his report no matter what RENO says. This revelation has put RENO OMOKRI in the center of a global controversy, accused not only of lying about his American connections, but also of trying to bury one of the deadliest truths about Nigeria's ongoing violence. Guys, this one is deep. Is RENO OMOKRI trying to protect the government, or is this all just a misunderstanding gone wrong? Either way, the receipts are out and Nigerians are watching closely. Guys, I will let you watch this video for yourself so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already done so. Take a look, guys, and remember to share your thoughts after watching.
Let's now turn our attention to a controversial development as the former mayor of Blanco, Texas, Mike Arnold, has accused former presidential aide RENO OMOKRI of being a pathological, habitual, calculating, self-serving liar, alleging that he was deceived and manipulated by OMOKRI during their personal and professional encounters. The allegations have sparked significant attention on social media platforms. Well, Arnold made the allegation in a lengthy post on X, recounting his experience with OMOKRI in Kenya, Texas, and Nigeria. The accusations include claims about fabricated luxury car ownership, unfulfilled promises of high-level meetings, and misrepresentation of Arnold's identity during media appearances. Among these specific allegations, Arnold claimed OMOKRI promised meetings with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu, and the Sultan of Sokoto during a recent trip to Nigeria, but none materialized. He also alleged on live television OMOKRI falsely called him the current mayor of Blanco, Texas, and claimed he's a personal friend of Ted Cruz, both of which Arnold denies. Most seriously, Arnold accused Omokri of downplaying violence against Christians in Nigeria. Let's take a look.
I am going to quote, not a journalist, but an authority apparently. How to identify a hypocrite. Their voice is so loud, condemning injustice against Muslims in USA, yet very silent in condemning genocide of Christians in Nigeria. And that person that said that a couple years ago was RENO OMOKRI, and he's multiple quotes, tweets like that. He made this a very big issue about Christian genocide in Nigeria not that long ago. And according to all the observers and all the organizations and watchdogs, they say it has not improved, that the death toll is higher. So I don't know what's dramatically changed, that he was adamantly, repeatedly calling it a Christian genocide in Nigeria. The only thing I know that's changed is the administration and his employer. So.
Wow, this story has gone viral. I mean, RENO OMOKRI went on to say that, he doesn't have an employer, but I'll take some reactions on X. This is from Mayor of Crypto, who wrote, "You never had any problems with RENO till he spoke the truth that there is no genocide against Christians in Nigeria. This is the problem with over religious folks. You are tearing another man down just because he disagrees with you." Well, Murphy wrote, "I took my time to read your message," that is to Arnold, "from top to bottom, and honestly, you are spot on. RENO has proven time and again to be the perfect example of a two-faced individual. 1 minute he's preaching morals, the next he's defending the indefensible. He talks from every side of his mouth, bending his narrative to whatever benefits him at the moment. You simply can't take him seriously. He stands for nothing unless it feeds his ego or political bias." Well, RENO OMOKRI was on our nightly news program Newsnight, where he described Arnold as the current mayor of Blanco, Texas, and dismissed claims of a Christian genocide in Nigeria as ludicrous, while acknowledging that killings are occurring across both Christian and Muslim communities. Let's take a look before we come back to discuss.
I was able to get Mayor Mike Arnold, a Republican elected mayor from the state of Texas, who is personally friends with Senator Ted Cruz and Gregory Abbott, and also an associate with President Trump. And I invited him over to Nigeria for fact-finding. Not just him, I invited also a filmmaker. I wanted them to see for themselves. So I invited these two gentlemen here, and before they came, they briefed Senator Ted Cruz and Congressman Chip Roy, and they're here. This whole idea of a Christian genocide in Nigeria is ludicrous. Yes, there are killings of Christians in Nigeria, and anybody who denies that will be, frankly, a dishonest person. But then, there are also killings going on in the Muslim arena. I mean, I hate to say this, but only recently we had killings at a mosque in Katsina. We had killings at another mosque in Zamfara. And if you have these terrorists go to a state like Benue and they hit people there, obviously most of the victims will be Christians. Why? Because Benue is a Christian-dominated state. If they hit in Zamfara, most of the victims will be Muslims. So there's no Christian genocide, and to prove it, I've invited this gentleman for fact-finding.
Right. All right. I mean, RENO OMOKRI there is also stressing the claims of the federal government, saying that, there is no Christian genocide in Nigeria. These terrorists attack Muslims, and mosques have been burnt as well as churches. Muslims have been killed, and he also had, the imam there as well. But your thoughts on all of the conversation so far, especially on social media, and from the current mayor of Blanco. I know he's not. Of course, I'm making a joke. I'm from the current mayor of Blanco, as RENO OMOKRI has alleged. This guy has come to say, listen, this man is talking with two sides of his mouth. He even posted videos, pictures, and a picture of RENO OMOKRI saying that, I think he visited him sometime in Texas, and then he posted his Rolls Royce or something like that. Your thoughts?
That was his.
On fire.
That was his friend's vintage car that he claimed he
vintage
posted.
car. We had that
Every water, he prepares a table before me. Yeah. Okay, moving on. See, as regards this conversation of genocide, I have always been of the view, and this is my view, that across religious lines, across Nigerians generally, people are being killed. All right? And the fact that people are being killed is even a sad indictment on Nigeria as a country. So rather than us trying to go and lobby, we should be crying in shame that Nigerians are being slaughtered. Christians, Muslims. In Christian communities, yes, there's been heavy killings. You remember what happened in the community in Jos around last Christmas?
Yeah.
Heavy killings. Second point, you called somebody for a fact-finding mission. The person gave a report of a fact-finding mission. Why are we disagreeing? A day before, in the television, you said that these people were brought in for a fact-finding mission. They have given their report. Why are we disagreeing? If Mayor Blanco said, based on his fact-finding, he's written a report that he saw Christian genocide over the years, that's the report of the committee that you set up for fact-finding mission. I don't know when we started doing fact-finding mission in Nigeria for something that is happening in America, or is it because we want to go and send the likes of Mayor Blanco that he says friend to Ted Cruz? I'm not sure it's that close to Ted Cruz. I'm not sure it's that close to associate of Trump. So why are we disagreeing with the fact-finding mission? That's the part I don't even understand here. And you see these attempts to play politics with the blood of human beings. Let's be careful. Human blood, and that's why I was quick to speak yesterday about the pardon. Human blood is not what we can play propaganda with. Please, when we are doing propaganda, when lives are involved, please, let's just move away from propaganda about human blood. Because the blood will ask questions. And we should be very careful. So I don't see anything Mayor Arnold has done by exposing the report of his fact-finding mission. You brought him in to do fact-finding. He said he has evidence. He has released all the evidence. And this has even complicated Nigerian government's matter. So if these people were brought in by those close to the government, this is an own goal. Just like one of my friends will say, "Oh, take penalty, Lord, throwing again. Own goal.
All right.
So please, with due respect,
yes,
what we should now do is to focus on the killings that is going on.
This is the point.
And how we can bring resolution. And people should stop all of this propaganda. If they want to go and meet with their American authorities and plead their own case, they should go ahead and do it. But all of this shenanigans on our national TV, see, for the second part, a lot of people want me to talk about as regards they lie to me, they don't lie to me.
Well, okay,
when Mayor Arnold and RENO OMOKRI were enjoying themselves,
yes,
and visiting each other's homes and hosting each other, I was not there.
Yes.
When they were inviting each other for birthday, I was not there. Their matter, it doesn't concern me. Right. It's because things are not good amongst them. That's why we are hearing the truth. Yeah. When it's not that when the mayor came into Nigeria and they invited him, he called me to tell me that I'm here. That's their personal matter.
All right.
The matter that concerns me,
yes,
it's a national matter. Don't do propaganda on the bloods of people. Let's say it the way it is.
Yes, but RENO OMOKRI has said that he doesn't have an employer as well. All right, a quick comment because I wanted
a quick comment because let me go where Rufai doesn't want to go to.
Yeah, okay.
And I say that because it's important to call out things like this. What Mike Arnold has done by revealing some of the lies that have been told by RENO OMOKRI, according to him, over the years with pictures, is that he has also revealed to the fact that he's not a man of integrity. And also when that happens is that it discredits the person, especially what you stand for and what you say. I say this because RENO OMOKRI is known to be very vocal about matters in Nigeria, about personalities in Nigeria. He has been accused, silently in different quarters as being, oh, okay, you play for this side. Many people, when it comes to politics, can change the direction of their view. But when you come with concrete, it doesn't speak very well of the integrity of a man who, in many cases, wants to speak up for issues that are pertinent to Nigerians. And I think it's important to highlight that fact. When your words or your actions have been discredited in such a bold and public manner, it means that in the future, people cannot take your words seriously. It means that when you speak up, and that's why we talk about people who are supporting this administration and government and saying many things, it means that the next time you post an X that goes viral, you take it with a pinch of salt. It means that sometimes when because your antecedents can qualify what or how we believe what you say in the future. And this is it's hurting because he's also been a big advocate of discrediting the words of the US saying that Nigeria Christian genocide is happening. So what does it mean? It means we want to take a closer look actually and think, if you've been lying about a lot of things in the past, why should we take you seriously and why should we believe what you're saying now? And I think he owes an apology to many of his followers that he deceived in the cause of misrepresenting himself with Mr. Mike Arnold. This is what happens when you're not playing with just Nigerians. If you're doing international propaganda, you have to be very careful. careful, because when it's time, they'll bring receipts and they'll discredit everything that you have done that is not correct.
Fire on fire. Well, all right.
We have yet another horrible report to share with you out of Nigeria. Masara Kim from Truth Nigeria is here. Masara, give us the details.
Yeah, on the 14th of the night actually of the October the 14th, 15 people were killed in the area south of Jos, precisely 15 to 50 miles south of Jos, in the Bokos and Barkin Ladi areas. 11 people were killed in one community, and there were two other communities where 2 people each were killed. And those attacks on October the 14th happened just a few hours after 2 people were buried in another community just on the southwest of Jos, the capital of Plateau State. And of course, this is just the most recent of such incidences. In the past 2 weeks, actually, we've buried more than 25.
So the videos that we're showing right now on screen, the videos that you sent me, Masara, what are we looking at? What is this burial?
Yeah, so that was the burial of the 11 victims of 11 victims of the attack, attack of October the 14th in the village of Rachas. It's spelled Rachas, located in the Haipang district of Barkin Ladi County or local government in Nigeria. So this area is home to the only airport, and of course it's an international airport. It's called the Yakubu Gowon International Airport in Plateau State, which is heavily guarded. And this community has 2 prominent military checkpoints on the north and south of it. It's actually located on the highway, and of course these checkpoints are just located about 1 mile away from this community on both sides of the road. But then again, this attack was launched and 11 people were killed. 5 of them children from ages 2 to 5 actually. And of course, you look at those videos. I didn't share the most gory part. Of course, a lot of them you will see their brains hanging out. Of course, they shot them in close range, chiefly while they were sleeping at about 10 p.m. local time.
Well, Masara, let me ask you this question. As you know, the Nigerian government is pushing back against these reports. I'm actually going to be interviewing some members of the Nigerian government here soon to hear their side of the story. But why, in your estimation, is the Nigerian government so anxious to say that what you're reporting and what all your colleagues are reporting at Truth Nigeria is in some way not accurate, or it's more of a tribal clash? It's not a genocide, it's not a Christian persecution. How would you respond to this push by the Nigerian government to, I don't know the word, maybe cover up what you guys are reporting?
Yeah, so first of all, it's the culture of complicity, and secondly, the culture of denial, and of course, the corruption that is so endemic in Africa's most populous country, right? So first of all, most of these attacks are carried out in the full glare of the military, under the full watch, the watchful eyes of the military. And most of these military, these soldiers actually, sometimes when you get to them, you interact with them on a personal level, they tell you that usually they would have to wait for orders from Abuja, which never come, and sometimes they would have to wait for logistics. Sometimes they have vehicles without even gas. So how do they even respond? So sometimes it's really difficult actually to get these guys to even respond at the time you want them to. So that's actually part of the administrative problems that we have. And then, of course, on another level, you have also this culture of complicity. A lot of the terrorists, a lot of the soldiers are in active connivance with these terrorists. Sometimes, actually, I have interacted with, sources. Of course, our intelligence has shown us that sometimes these terrorists even buy time, literally pay for time, like time within which they will have to operate. And usually you see this happening every now and then. The soldiers, there are military checkpoints and military bases dotted across the entire landscape, chiefly located within 1 to 2 mile distance. Yet the soldiers never show up. Sometimes, if they would show up several hours after the attack is complete, just like we had on the night of October the 14th. And what is even far more interesting is that the attack of this Tuesday, which was October the 14th, followed just few hours, less than 10 hours after a so-called peace meeting was held between Christian leaders and Muslim leaders, which was part of the efforts by the Nigerian authorities to just explain away, dismiss these attacks as mere clashes between sedentary farmers and semi-nomadic cattle herders. Now, again, if you remember, last week, it was on the 9th that we have had an interview where I told you about Christians who were slaughtered along a highway south of Jos. Those Christians were actually, majority of them were returning from another peace meeting in the same Barkin-Ladi County, right? So they were summoned to these meetings where they were forced to make verbal agreements or sign peace agreements or make commitments for peace and all of that. And after these meetings were completed, the participants on their way back were ambushed on the way and they were slaughtered. The same way this particular incident happened, they went for peace meetings and came back and then they were slaughtered in their homes. Chiefly, all of the peace agreements or the peace meetings that have been organized by the army or by the Nigerian government have always been followed by mass murders. And then again, this brings the question, who is doing what? Who is telling who what? Because it looks apparently that these peace meetings are only aimed at getting the Christian side to just relax their guard, to just feel that, yeah, we're secured and nothing is going to happen. The perpetrators have now agreed to now ceasefire, only to give room for them to come and, sweep and just carry out more and more murders. Now, that's on the part of the complicity that I talked about. The economic aspect of it, right? The corruption. Nigeria lives on foreign loans. I mean, chiefly on foreign loans. That's on the one hand. Secondly, again, many Nigerian politicians have friends and allies and business and interests overseas, chiefly in the United States, and they feel that if this narrative, this campaign against the ongoing genocide succeeds, then Nigeria is going to be relisted as a country of particular concern, and that could mean sanctions, that could mean restrictions, trade restrictions, that could mean restrictions on arms purchase, that could mean restrictions on loans, that could mean restrictions even on travel against certain politicians, and that is what they don't want. That is what they're trying to push back against. And now, of course, I have said this over and over again. If they have the evidence to prove that this is not a genocide, let them bring it forward and not bring up arguments and just campaign and just debates all the time. Each time we come on interviews like this, we are coming with hard truth. We are coming with evidences. We are coming with videos, with timestamps, and with GPS stamps and all of that, which are verifiable. What do they have that is verifiable to counter what we have?